tutorial. Today I'm going to show you how to make a crocodile stitch in crochet. This pattern gets its name because the little stitches look like little scales, like on a crocodile. It's a pretty cool little pattern. I tend to like to use it as fringe for like pillows and throws. A couple of rows of that looks pretty cool, but I've seen it used in a lot of different applications. It's also a little complicated, so I'm going to try to go slow so you can see really well how to do it. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. To start, we need to make some chains, and we want to do those in multiples of 6 plus 3. So for this tutorial, I'm going to make 15 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now to start, we want to go to the third chain from our hook, and remember, we never count the one that's on our hook. So 1, 2, 3. Right there, we're going to make a double crochet. Then we want to chain 2. 1, 2. We're going to skip 2. 1, 2, and double crochet into the next. And that's pretty much the pattern we're going to follow for this row. So this row is pretty easy. We're just making a grid to put all of our first row of scales on. So chain 2, skip 2, 1, 2, double crochet into the next. Two, 1, 2, skip 2, double crochet into the next, chain 2, 1, 2, skip 2, and double crochet into the very last chain. Now that we have our grid made, we're ready to start making our first row of scales. And to do those, it's not going to be like in normal crochet. We're not going to go all the way across. What we're going to do is sort of go in an S snake type shape. And that's what's going to create our scale look. So to get started, we want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to turn the work on its side so we can get to that first post. And we want to make 4 double crochets around that first post. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to chain 1. Then we're going to turn the work around so we can grab the center of the next post, and we're going to make 5 double crochets around it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then in the very top of that same post, we want to make a slip stitch. And that finishes off our first scale. To do our next one, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, go to the top of the next post and make a slip stitch. Then we're going to turn the work so we can grab the center of that post, and we're going to make 5 double crochets around it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to chain 1. Then we're going to turn the work around so we can grab the center of the next post and double crochet 5 around it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to slip stitch into the top of that post, and that finishes off our next little scale. To finish the row, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and in the very last post we're going to make a slip stitch into the top of it. And now we're ready to start the next row, which will be a grid to put our next row of scales on. So to start it, we're going to do 5 chains, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 5 chains will count as your first double crochet and chain 2. So now we want to go to the first post, and we're going to double crochet into the top of that post, chain 2, 1, 2, and go to the next post. And we're pretty much just going to keep doing that until we reach the end of the row. So chain 2, 1, 2, go to the top of the next post and make a double crochet. Chain 2, 1, 2, and go to the top of the last post and make a double crochet into it too. Now that we have our next grid, we want our next row of scales to be off center from the bottom row. So we don't want them to be directly on top, we want to actually have them be off center. That way it looks more like scales. So to do that, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, go to the top of the next post and slip stitch into the top of it. Now we're ready to turn the work on its side to grab that post, and we're going to make 5 double crochets into the center of the post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, then take your work and turn it around so you can grab the next post over and make 5 double crochets around the center of it. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. We want to make a slip stitch into the top of that double crochet as well. And that finishes off our first scale. See how now it's off center compared to the bottom row? So to start the next scale, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, go to the top of the next double crochet and make a slip stitch. Then turn it around so we can grab that center and make 5 double crochets into the center of that post. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 2, or 1, I'm sorry, chain 1. And then turn your work to get to that last post, which is actually that chain 5 space. And we're going to make 5 double crochets into the center of it. One, 2, 3, 4, and 5. See, now you have 2 rows. Pretty neat, huh? So to start the next one, we need to make another grid. So we're chaining 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And again, that's going to count as your first double crochet and chain 2 space on this row. Go over to your next double crochet from the previous row and double crochet into the top of it. Chain 2, 1, 2. Go over to the next double crochet and double crochet into the top of it. Chain 2, 1, 2. Go over to your next one, double crochet into the top of it, chain 2, 1, 2, then go over to the next one, which is actually that chain 5 space, and you actually want to go into the center chain there and make your double crochet into it. So the center of those 5 chains. And now you have your next grid. And that's all there is to it. You just keep repeating rows 2 through 5 until you reach your desired height. And when you get done, you should end up with a pattern that looks like this. I hope this has been a helpful tutorial, and if so, please subscribe to the channel for more nifty tutorials and patterns. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.